Okay, so you want to make money marketing on the internet. Well, it depends what kind of product you have or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts, but here's my general sense of what to do. Number one is first, I'm going to send you a special report on the best starting places to get money and free help for any business, okay? And then the top of that report is something called the Business Development Centers. And before you do anything else, make sure you check in with these people because they offer free consulting on anything. They'll help you think through your idea. If you're trying to buy maybe some kind of program on the internet that promises you making a lot of money, they'll help you evaluate that. These are people who get grants to help you for free. If you go on the internet and try to find out for free marketing help or free, help to get money or free help, it's going to be people who want money from you. That's what Google is all about, is to send you to sell stuff for you, because those people who want to get money from you are going to work like heck to get on the front pages, so you see them first and you give them money because you don't know your options. Well, what I want to do is show you your options, and don't spend money. To me, the key of being in business is not spending money, because no one really knows what works, and what works for you is different than anybody else, and what you have to do is stay in there long enough until you figure out what works for you. And if you start spending money on every sweet person you see on the internet or something, you'll be out of business before you figure it out. So these free consultants, the Business Development Centers, and we give you the local office, in the report that we're sending you to how to find them. Now, in a general sense, and then all the other programs too, but here's some other things to consider about the internet. There's a lot of people selling advertising, and you could talk to advertising people till you're blue in the face, and everybody says, give them money and they'll make you $1 million. Now, that's impossible to do. It's stupid to do because you don't know what it's worth to you. They think it's worth that to them, and you have no way to change their mind, so why bother? They're trying to go out and find a bigger sucker who thinks it's worth the same to them as it is for them. You know what I mean? But you have to find out what's worth to you. So you have to learn that system first. And the way you learn that without doing money is doing advertising in the internet that doesn't cost you anything. There's now something called affiliate programs. They've been around since day one of the internet. And these are places you could sign up for free and have your products, or maybe they'll charge you a small amount, it depends on the program, a small amount to have your product listed there, and then people will put that on their website and sell it for you. And what you do, because it won't cost you money, because you give them a percentage of the sale. You don't give them advertising money. You only give them money if they sell. I mean, that's how I made a ton of money on TV. I didn't pay for advertising. I did at the beginning. I'd go into a TV station and say, how much is this worth? And they say, well, it's worth $10,000. Okay, and I write a check and I do my ad and put it on there, and nothing would happen. Then I found out, hey, what happens a lot of times is they don't sell all the advertising. So that means there's commercials that haven't been paid for yet. So I said to them, hey, use my commercial and I'll give you half the money. See, man, I do that in a bookstore. If you're selling anything in retail, you put the product in the store, and when it sells, you take half the money and they take half the money. It depends, it varies, but basically that's about it. So I said, heck, I'll do that with the TV stations. Man, there was a lot of empty time. That's why you saw me a lot. If you watched TV in the 90s, it was at midnight because nobody bought that time, but they had it there. They had to run commercials, and I made a ton of dough because I had no risk. So that's how you have to handle advertising, is no risk. And that's what marketing is about. And that's why when people, if you have a marketing company and you say, oh, if I only had $100,000, then I could market it. Yeah, but if you did that, you would piss away $100,000 because you really don't know what works. And what you have to do is go through that trial period first and find out what works. What kind of ad really works? And the only way to do that is by trial and error. And you find websites that would make natural sense for your product. If you're selling toothpaste, and so you look for a website that's a blog about how to, keep your teeth clean, and you contact that website, say, hey, I'll give you half the money and put my ad on there, And if you don't know how to write an ad or do all those kinds of things or whatever, go to Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. And that's a place that you can get all that kind of help for next to nothing. $5 most of the time. I do that all the time. What I do is I hire 10 people, $5 a piece, and see who's really good. It's cheaper than paying $500 to somebody who promises you. And nobody could promise you anything, because you don't know until the customer sells something, or buys something. That's the only bottom line. And everybody else, anybody expert telling you what works and doesn't work in marketing, take it for a grain of salt. Try it, okay, if it doesn't cost money. If it costs money, man, put it aside and wait till you have money before you try it. Okay, so the report I'm handing you to is going to have a whole bunch of sources where to check at the federal, state, and local government for extra money for your business. And also put another report too, because I see you're not in a high income category and looking for other ways to make money. So I'm going to show you a report about 47 programs. These are websites. They're not government oriented, where you could just have your name on that website and start making money. You have to do a task, or you have to do some kind of other thing, or you store something for somebody, you get rid of your old clothes. There's so many ways, to make extra money on the internet now that people don't know. You've heard of Uber and Airbnb. Man, I make a ton of dough on Airbnb, and I know people in this town making $90,000 a year driving, for Uber. I mean, it's amazing what's out there. So you have extra time. You can share that extra time and make dough out of it, and it doesn't cost you any money. See, all the programs on all the platforms I'm going to tell you about cost nothing. Never give money to people when you're looking for money. They're just taking advantage of you. So good luck with this or whatever. And keep coming back to us. We can help more.